Good evening, good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom, and glad you could join us this evening. This is July the 9th. This is an Erev Shabbat service, and I need to let you know this service was pre-recorded. Let us begin our service with the singing of Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
We continue with the Shabbat candle blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
For those who are following in your books, we're on page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Page 22, Tov Lehodot.
Yom HaShabbat, Tov, Tov, Tov Lehodot, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, Tov, Tov, Tov Lehodot, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, L'Tzamer L'Shemcha Elyon, L'Shemcha Elyon, L'Tzamer, L'Tzamer L'Shemcha Elyon, Tov, Tov, Tov Lehodot, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, Tov, Tov, Tov Lehodot, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, Le'agid b'boker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilut, Tov, Tov, Tov Lehodot, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai, Tov, Tov, Tov Lehodot, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai.
Please turn to page 28 as we rise for the Baruch Hu.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach,
Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due, now and forever. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim, u'vitvona meshana itim, u'machalif et hasmanim, u'misader et hakokavim, v'mishmerotehem barakia kertzono. Bore yom v'layla, golel or mitne choshech, v'choshech mitne or, u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, u'ma'avir ben yom u'vein layla Adonai tzeva'ot shmo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch alenu le'ulam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. On page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all things your Torah gives us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shi Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Please be seated, and we continue on page 36. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down, when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. Adonai Elohim, I am Adonai, your God.
I'm in the middle of page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we found ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha Adonai, mi kamocha, le'da b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei pele, Nora tehilot, osei pele. Machudecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amaru. Adonai yimlov, Adonai yimlov, le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov, ugielo meyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
On the top of page 43, let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, aporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We turn now to page 44 for the singing of Bishamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam, b'nei u'ben b'nei Yisrael, odi
Please turn to page 46 as we rise for the Tefillah.
Shimo Rav Lehoshia Morir Hatal Mechakel Chayim Bechesed Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim Zomek Nobilim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umakaya Bemunato Leshenei Avar Bichamocha Bal Kevorot Umida Mela Melech Memid Umachaye Umat Meat Yeshua Vanemanata Lahachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol.
Page 52. Atakadosh v'Shem Hakadosh. Ukdoshim b'chol yom yachalalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el Hakadosh. Please be seated. We're on page 54. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done. Cease then on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest, sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. 56, Ritzeh.
Ritzeh, Ritzeh, Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu Be'amacha Yisrael U'tefilatam Be'avatecha U'tehi leratzon tamid U'tehi leratzon tamid Avodat Yisrael Amecha Baruch atah Adonai She'otecha levadecha B'yirut She'otecha levadecha
Middle of page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ato Shemcha, Ulecha Na'eh Lehodot. On page 60, a prayer for peace. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Let us continue now with a few moments of private silent prayer.
Oh, say shalom, shalom, bimramav. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Be'alkol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu, ve'alkol Yisrael. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimramav. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Be'alkol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ve'alkol yoshvei teveinu.
Let us turn now to page 253, Prayers for Healing. We pray for all those who are suffering physically, emotionally, spiritually from the horrible events of Surfside and the horrendous pictures that we have seen on television that will remain with us for a long time. We think of members of our congregation who aren't doing well at this time and want to say a special prayer for them. We say a special prayer for Suzanne Ryman, Ralph Einstein, Rabbi Jonathan Katz, Violet Spivak, Jim Gardner, Marlene Gardner, Jen Hartlove. For those of you who have additional names you'd like to mention at this time, just say them out loud or say them to yourselves. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. Avotenu ve'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Leah, Hu Yevarech et Cholim. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us all say amen as we sing together.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 258, prayers for our community. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion and prayer in support of the needy. May we guide with integrity. May our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be strong in body and spirit, and let us all say amen. Avinu Shabbat
Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'goelo, Barek et Medinat Yisrael, Breshit Smecha Geoloteinu, Hagen, Hagen Alecha, Bevrot, Bevrot Chastecha, Bevros Olecha Alecha, Sukkot, Sukkot Shalomecha, Ushlav V'Avianecha, Let Asher Yodetza, B'Taknim, B'Taknim, B'Etza Tova, B'Etza Tova Milvanecha. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'goelo, Barek et Medinat Yisrael, Breshit Smecha Geolateinu. Strengthen the hearts of those who defend our holy land. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, deliver them and crown their efforts with triumph. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, Tzor Yisrael v'goelo. Bless our land with peace, O God, and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say, Amen, Amen. Barek et Medinat Yisrael.
This week, this Shabbat, we have a double Torah reading. And when we conclude those two readings, we are concluding the book of Numbers. When we finish a book, when we finish a chapter, we often think back on what we have learned, read, accomplished. And we ask the same question, I hope, when we reach the end of a chapter in life. I hope we are now ending a chapter that began almost 16 months ago when our world was turned inside out and when expectations of what was going to happen the next day or the next week never came to be. I know when we finish something, we often look forward to what comes next. And I am looking forward, I'm an optimist, I know, to a much better future. Maybe we've learned to be a little safer and should be under all circumstances, even when there isn't a pandemic. Maybe we have learned to be a little more understanding. Maybe we are able to do what we're supposed to do after we have passed through serious danger, and that is offer a prayer of thanksgiving to God. There are many in this community who have suffered serious losses. We recognize that. We suffer with all those who have lost ones, family members, friends. We look forward to a better future, and we use every preventive measure we possibly can. Maybe, for example, and who knows how social customs will develop, that practice which goes back for centuries of shaking hands will be replaced with an elbow bump. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think some people are too quick to return to what used to be normal. I think we still need to have our guard up. But we can learn from what we have been through. And we can learn that as a community, the larger community of the world, the larger community of the Jewish people, the community of Temple Beth Israel of Longboat Key, that we are there for each other, that in many, many ways, recognizing the pain of our losses, still as a community, we have weathered the storm. May God give us the strength to learn from this, not to say, it's all over now and I don't need to care. May we learn from this, continue to be safe, continue to learn how to protect ourselves when we are threatened by any kind of danger. When we read at the beginning of one of our services, may the doors of our synagogue be wide enough. In our prep book, it says door. I almost want to change it to doors because we are putting in a new door in our sanctuary, thereby increasing the safety if, God forbid, we ever have to leave quickly. We have improved the quality of our air. It's cleaner. Our allergies shouldn't bother us as much. But most importantly, we have stayed together as a strong community. And my hope and prayer at the end of this month, that Shabbat at the end of this month, I want to do an experiment in having a service in our building. So look forward to that. We'll be sending out e-blasts. Take care, be safe, and let us now turn to page 283 as we rise for the adoration.
Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Vanakanu Korim, Umishtahavim Umadim, Lifnim Melech, Malki Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, b'yom hahu, yehyeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad.
Please be seated. A prayer before the Kaddish on page 291. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who brought wholeness into our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world. In each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one, whose life, now ended, brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. We recall the recently departed, and of course, we think of all the victims of Surfside. We mention also our recently departed in our immediate families and our congregation: Kurt Einstein, Jerry Saul, Judith Nelson Feldman, Joshua Haran, Ronald Lebo, Sophie Pollock, Lee Black, Martin Ross, Al Grossman, Norman Gross, Florence Haar, B. Einstein, Dolores Scholdinger. And pause for a moment to think of others whose names weren't mentioned. And let us turn now to page 294 as we rise for the Kaddish. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Hirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chaye Chon of Yom Echon, Uv'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalah, V'isman Karim, V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam Ul'almei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitalei V'yitalal, Shmei Dekudsha Rechu. Ve'elamin Kol Berchata V'shirata, Tushbachata V'nechamata, Damiran Ve'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shamaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. May the source of peace grant peace unto those who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us. And let us all say, Amen. Please be seated. And we are going to conclude in a moment service with Ein Keloheinu. I am just going to make one simple announcement. There will be Torah study pre-recorded tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and my class will not be meeting over this month while I'm on vacation. We conclude on page 322 with Ein Keloheinu.
No de Eloheinu, no de Ladonenu, no de Lemolkeinu, no de Lamosheinu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Mosheinu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Mosheinu.
May we all be blessed with peace and happiness and good health and safety. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichonecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Eternal One bless us by protecting us and giving us the wisdom to do whatever we possibly can to protect ourselves. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.